Hi everyone. Today I am testing out my new big wide screen for my work, which I decided to get as a present to myself because I do so much drafting. I want to talk to you all today about GDPR, Facebook groups, and what they have in common or what it is that they have with to do with each other. So May last year, the GDPR came into force, which is the General Data Protection Regulations that deal with the collection of information from consumers, and it applies to how information is collected or data is collected within the EU and how it's transferred and how it's handled. So it does affect countries across the world, and it applies to small businesses in Australia. There is no doubt about that, and there is no discussion about it. And the reason is this because of the fact that we all have, as small businesses and solopreneurs, an online presence, and that is through our websites. So, what's the connection between a website that you might have for your business and the GDPR if you are only selling to people in Australia or your market is in Australia and that you do not market actively or proactively to the European Union, countries within the European Union? The connection is this, is that firstly you have a website that people can find you on. You don't have any control over who goes onto your website. You could argue that, well, I don't, I have my website, and if I don't actively promote it, what you do most likely do is that you have a big presence, or you are present in Facebook groups and other online forums uh, as yourself, or as your business page, which does lead people to access your website. You can't control who checks your website out. If you're in a Facebook group and you're talking about your services, you're engaging with other people, you don't know where their geographic location is. And most Facebook groups don't limit um, uh, people joining according to geographical location. What they do is ask you to join on the basis of your interest. And in business, that is really a wide variety of interests that could lead you to join a group, or a specific problem that you have that you want help with will lead you to join a group. And people will engage with you because of your problem or your issue, or because they are interested in your product or service. In the first instance, it's not where you're located. So what happens is that regardless of whether you are planning to sell in Australia only or New Zealand only, you have no control over who actually visits your website to check you out, because they have found you an interesting, lovely person on Facebook with an interesting product and service that they have read about or you've been tagged in. And so the natural thing for them is to check out your Facebook business page, and from there to check out your website or to go directly to your website. And therein lies your connection to the general data protection rules, is that anytime someone visits your website, you are collecting or capturing personal information about them, because they have um, through their IP address, and that IP address is considered or contains personal information about the person that is, or the entity that is visiting your website. Now, through that IP address, which is collected through the use of cookies and other analytical software, or apps, you'll find that you can monitor how many times people have come onto your website, what pages they visited, which pages they switch between, where they stayed the longest, and all these things help you to run your business. The bottom line is, though, is that you've collected personal information via an IP address from someone who could possibly be located in the European Union. You don't have control over that, and you have no proactive intention to sell or market in the EU. So the point of this, I guess, live is to connect the dots for you. If you have a website, you do need to be GDPR compliant in your privacy, in having a privacy policy in the first place, in having a privacy policy that is written according to, in line with the regulations. And I'll do a live on that later on. And thirdly, that your privacy policy sits on your website and is available to those people that visit your website. And I guess most importantly, that you actually, implement the privacy practices that the GDPR requires of you, and that is, to make sure that the information that you are collecting is handled according to the regulations. And this could be that you make sure that the people that process information that you collect are also GDPR compliant, that they also have compliant privacy practices, and that your management of sensitive information is clearly within GDPR regulations. And that's a topic for another live, which I'll address later on. So this video or this live is really to ensure that you do understand that regardless of where you're selling, that if you have a business that is online, that is capturing information of users or visitors to your website, then you do need to have a privacy policy in the first place. It has to be a privacy policy that is in line with the GDPR regulations, and not rely on the privacy policy that you had prior to May 2018. In the comments, I've put down a checklist for that can help you to work out what you need. But if you know that you just need a template that is GDPR compliant, then I suggest you head over to my website. There's one there that you can purchase and fill in, and it's been drafted especially for small businesses. I know because I drafted it myself. Please take care, and I will speak to you again later on next week and cover a few other aspects of the privacy policy requirements that you may need to revisit or you may need to address in your business. Have a great week and see you soon. Bye for now.